say about a 20-yard shot here, a little pitch. And same idea, we want to land our ball somewhat past that flag stick, past the alignment stick. Ideally, we want to land it in that circle. Obviously, it's very difficult to land in that little circle. It's just an idea. So what we want to do is kind of the same thing. Here, I'll get in here and show you. So we're kind of doing the same thing here. Just a little bit bigger of a swing. And we want to try and land it somewhat near that circle. And I landed it right in it. And we ended up about 2 feet away. So it was a pretty good idea of where we want to be. So also, you said you wanted to work on a couple different variety of shots as well. So this is, just with the sandwich alone, I'm going to show you real quickly 3 different ways to hit this shot. So you can basically stand this, put this in the back of your stance, do your same setup and everything, it's just maybe a ball or 2 back than normal, and keeping your hands forward and your weight forward, you're going to want to keep it a little lower. You can keep it lower, and it's going to run more. Your next shot you can hit.
Do I still want to land it in that circle right now?
No, this is more, so you forget about the circle for just this little segment. So basically, with a bump and run, you know it's going to run more. So you want to land it obviously a little shorter than what that is.
Okay.
The second shot, which is kind of the one I showed you, my first shot, is more of a just standard pitch with a little height on it, which is kind of more of a neutral pitch, just like that. So that's a little more height to it, not as much run out. And then the third shot is where we will open up the club face a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is, this is normal for me, I'm going to open it to about here. And so now our landing area is actually slightly ahead of that circle. So this is if we need to get over an obstacle, over a bunker, you know, whatever, and we got a tight pin. We're going to open up that club face, and we're going to make the same swing, maybe a little bigger, and it's going to land further. You see that?
Yeah.
So it landed further and it stopped quicker. So just by that, all I did really was changed my club face. I didn't change my swing. I made it a little bigger on the last swing, but the bump and run, I took it to about here. The pitch, I did the same thing. I took it to about here, and then that higher shot, I just added a little bit more, maybe more of a 3/4 up to here. And I made that same swing, same fluid motion, and you can see, as a result, almost all 3 balls ended up in the same area. I just used a different way of doing it. So let me see you try that, and try do 2 bump and runs, and go through your routine and everything again. So 2 bump and runs, 2 pitches, and then 2 higher shots. Yes, yeah, that's good. Keeping it back, keep the hands forward, and also a thing to keep in mind is when you're swinging through, make sure you keep your hands low through the shot. That'll keep the ball low. Good. A little bit harder than I wanted. I want you to try and land it actually short of that alignment stick. And I want you to try and imagine just like you're almost driving the ball into the ground. Keep it as low, the club as low to the ground as you can all the way through the shot. And just for the hell of it, put it a little bit further back in your stance than you are. There you go. There you go, that's what I was looking for. You see that? It was a little bit lower, you landed it shorter, and it ran out more. Okay, now let's do 2 with just your normal standard pitch. Yep. That's okay. You know what I was going to say too, actually watching you, I feel like you are slightly a little too far away from the ball. And it's funny because you shanked it, you would think, no, I'm standing too close to it. That's not always the case. I think you're standing a little too far away from it, to be honest with you. Try that again, same routine. Okay, do your normal. Just get a couple inches close, like a good inch closer. There you go. Feel like you're dropping it right on the ball. There you go. That was a little bit more of a higher shot, but that's okay. Okay, now let's swing, you kind of, that's another thing too, is you have to pay attention to where I said when you were hitting the low ones, keeping your hands low. If you hit a shot and finish high, the ball's going to go high. So it's where you keep your club relative to the ground. Even with your pitches, you don't want to raise the club up and through real high. You still want to keep it relatively, square right out to my body here, low to the ground.
Did I look high?
You did. You finished high, and which resulted in you hitting it high. Okay, so now we want to hit one where we open the face and try and hit it a little higher. There you go. So you want to finish higher, kind of like you did on the last one. Good. Very good. And you see how that popped it right up in the air just from your club face and the way you were swinging the club too. Okay, let's try one more.
Is that a good distance away?
Yes, that's good. Okay, you just came out of it a little bit. Try and keep your head down longer too. I notice you want to come up with the shot, and it's important that you keep this down even through the shot, and then lift your head up afterwards. So try and stay down a little bit longer. But that was good. That was good. And any feedback from that at all, or is there any questions you have about that?
Well, I think I just need to practice them to
Of course, yes.
get the distances of those 3 different shots.
Of course, and we'll talk about practice routines even now. I mean, so the best way to practice this is to obviously move around. It's so great to move around. So many people get caught up in hitting the same shots from the same spot, and you're not really getting a great variety. Yes, you're practicing that distance, but what I'd like you to do really is dump a bunch of golf balls. Take 20, 30 golf balls and dump them kind of all around the green from that same distance, or even different distances. That's what I used to do to practice when I was growing up and playing in competition, high school, all that stuff. It's very good to get a variety. So what I would do is literally just dump balls all different distances all around the green from different lies, and don't improve the lie when you get to the ball. If you've got a bad lie, I want you to hit it on that bad lie, because that's going to give you an idea when you're on the golf course and you go, oh, I've seen that lie. That lie it came out real fat, and it was hard to hit the ball. So I got to swing harder to be able to get that club through the grass, to know how far you got to hit it. So if you get a variety from different lies all around the greens, and you practice those different shots, you're going to know when you get on the golf course, like, oh, I've had this shot before. I know what the ball is going to do out of this line. So that's a very, very important thing for you to, kind of incorporate into your game as far as practice.
So how much should I practice with the alignment stick, this stuff?
This stuff is more just to kind of give you an idea of what you want to do as far as your landing areas. I think it's great if you bring this stuff out and use it if you want to. The alignment sticks are good because it gives you feedback on where you're taking the club in. Because if you go here and you start doing this, you're going, oh, I'm taking the club outside of the stick. So that means I'm dumping it inside, or vice versa. You can start doing this, and now you're outside. So it'll give you an idea of, okay, I want it down here and down here. I want it to stay in that line. So I would recommend using the alignment sticks, and I would also, even recommend putting one on the green. You don't need the rings. If you have a stick you want to put down and then I want to land it past that stick, that's another great thing to do.
So should I start out with this for a couple reps and then do the ball scattered maybe?
Yeah, I think that's good. Get an idea of the feel of the shot and the distance. Maybe do 10 to 15 balls short, maybe do another 10 or 15 here, go to 30 yards, do 10 or 15, 40 and 50 and so on. And then you can, once you get a feel of those distances, then you can go around the greens and, hit different shots and pick where you want to hit from, or just, like I say, dump